If you're a witness to a violent crime, would you be able to identify the suspect?
It's a challenge police officers and detectives across the country face every day.
The I-Team's Eric Ross shows us new technology on the market.
It helps law enforcement agencies unmask criminals faster.
Good evening. Tonight we'll show you how detectives are able to draw an accurate picture in just a few minutes, even if the victim may have only seen the suspect for just a few seconds. There's a story to be told behind the yellow tape at every crime scene. Identifying a suspect is just as important as collecting evidence. That's where Detective Tammy Trammell McLean comes in.
The face is what matters.
Part of her job is to help sexual assault victims create a composite sketch of their attackers. Here, she's creating an image of me as an example.
When you have a street rape, you know, the perpetrator usually starts to become a serial rapist, and we want to try to prevent that as fast as possible and get that sketch out there.
Milwaukee police generate about 30 sketches a year, but instead of using a pen and paper, Detective Trammell McLean uses a computer program called SketchCop. With the click of a mouse, the victim and detective work together to pick out different facial features of the attacker.
I would say it's probably about 70% accurate. It's based on what the person saw at the time the crime was committed against them.
The computer program allows detectives the flexibility to fine-tune features like mustaches and hairlines. Take the case of serial rapist Robert Brown, convicted of assaulting 5 women. The beard and the mustache are almost spot on.
Right.
So that was a good eyewitness account.
Yeah, correct.
Thanks to his composite sketch, DNA evidence, and eyewitness testimony, Brown is now serving 155 years in prison. Then there's this sketch of an attempted homicide suspect.
This is a guy who shot a girl multiple times while she was sitting in her car waiting for a hair salon to open.
A month after police released this sketch, Jose Danzel was arrested. He's now serving 37 years behind bars. Although most of the sketches the detective showed us are spot on, sometimes there are differences between the drawing and the actual perpetrator, like in this sketch of a sexual assault suspect.
The discrepancy was that she had said that his cheeks were very sunken in, almost like he appeared to be a drug user. And, you know, in the photo when he was arrested, they're not so sunken in as she thought she saw.
And we want to be clear, it's not that she's lying, it's just when people are in those situations, it's very hard for them to process exactly what they're seeing.
Right. Well, a lot of times it's the lighting. It's usually dark when these things occur. They're only seeing, you know, what they can for that moment.
With the exception of one open case, every sketch drawn with SketchCop has led to the identification of a suspect. But sometimes detectives say that's not enough. In order for a case to hold up in court, there usually has to be another link, like DNA evidence connecting that person to a crime. Eric Ross, today's TMJ4.